How's it, Guardians and YouTubers alike? So this is about the heroic Menagerie that came out on the 25th of June. My clan and we four-manned it, and this is just a little bit on what happened. So the encounters, as you can see on screen, are Lamplighting, the Hunted, the Mockery, the Crystals, Arcborn, the Gauntlet, and the Respite. And the boss for this week is Haspico, as such. But for our one that we did, I know it gets randomized, but for what we ran for heroic, which I believe it is exact, is the first encounter was Lamplighting, the second encounter was the Gauntlet, third encounter was the Crystals, fourth encounter was the Mockery, fifth encounter was the Respite, and our sixth encounter was the Hunted, and we didn't need the seventh one. We went straight onto the boss, which I believe was pretty good. So what the heroic is all about is it starts at 750 and increases up to power 770. Matchmaking is disabled, so you'll need a fire team of your own. And there's weekly rotating modifiers per boss. Unlike normal mode, as you can see on screen, the Guardians can hit a failure state. So Extinguish is active every week, and that is one of the main modifiers for Heroic Menagerie. Like this week we have Extinguish, so if everybody dies, you go back to orbit. Unlucky. And then Crazy we did this week, which was Blackout, which is, I always don't like Blackout. And the Void Singe was the main perk. So what I've got on screen is a few of the little encounters, because it took us quite a while to get this done, and we did four-man it. And my clan members were Ronok, Anonymous, Insurgent Muffin, and myself. And you'll see them on screen, and then you'll see their names at the end as well. And credit, they did fantastic. And big shout out to the MDC, obviously, because that's the clan, and we try and run as many things as we can. So what I've got in the gameplay footage at the moment is the Gauntlet, and runs not like normal one, but the enemies are really hard, really hard, so you've got to make sure you don't die. I'm not going to talk at the moment. I'll just let a bit of the footage play out, and then when there's moments, I'll come back on.
A modest performance, but it could be improved.
So the next one is the Hunted that I have footage of, and this was terrifying. So what we were doing is we had 2 Hunters, 1 Warlock, and 1 Titan. I tell you what, that was the best classes to run this at 4 people. We were able to keep the tethers going, protect ourselves with the Titan's new bubble that they have, and the Warlock's Well of Radiance was a lifesaver, to say the least. And you can see how we moved from encounter to encounter with this, because you've got to remember it's Blackout. So the damage that these Thrall and Exploding Thrall were putting out were insanely high. But yeah, carry on watching.
cannot be convinced they are wrong. Sword logic is the only argument they understand.
So now we move on to the final encounter with the boss. I would say the hardest part about this is the fanatics and the hobgoblin snipers. You can dodge the boss, as you can see. We use the main area in the center at the back. Before the hobgoblins came in, there's the snipers, and as soon as they started coming in, you have to use the rally barricade, the tall one for the Titan. We were able to protect ourselves from one side and be able to fire across and take out the other hobgoblins. One of the things that the guys came up with is if you leave one of the hobgoblins alive, it actually helps because they don't just keep spawning back in. As soon as you take them out, there's a few, I don't know, few minutes or so, a few seconds, and then the next wave spawns in. If you can get the boss to the damage phase, as you can see, all the enemies either get wiped out by the walls or despawn. So it is, to the best you can do is get into the damage phases. So tips we were using, Hammerhead was one of the ones because obviously it's void. I was running Outbreak Prime, which is really good for damage, and then obviously the best is Recluse because you can see how fast it fires, and because of the Lunafaction boots the Warlock had on, I was able to not even worry about reloading when I was in the well. You got to remember one thing: you need to keep alive more than anything, because there's no time limits on this fight, as you can see. But if everybody dies, you go back to orbit. For the Izanagi's Burdens Catalyst, you have to have your chalice fully upgraded, and it is guaranteed drop once you complete the heroic Menagerie. So as you can see, there's Anonymous 02897, Surgeon Muffin, Mac SA, which is me, and Ronarch 15. Four-manned it from start to finish, and it took an hour and 12 minutes and 7 seconds. Here's the emblem, and that's what the little icon looks like for the heroic one. Now, as you know, everybody's been doing the chest runs, which is good, and Bungie posted last week Thursday that they're going to be fixing that, as you can see on screen from their blog post. So if you want to get your chest runs in, do it before reset, because they will patch it on the 9th of July. The loophole, as they call it. So enjoy it as much as you can. Thank you very much, and as always, adios.